Do you know what the biggest threat to the world is today? I bet you'll never guess. It's something called climate change. As someone who has taken multiple classes on climate change and has done multiple projects on climate change, I feel I'm educated enough to explain to the audience why a world without climate change would be a completely better place to live in. This topic is relevant in today's world because climate change is bigger than it's ever been today and is killing people worldwide, killing animals worldwide, and just killing the earth as a whole. I'm here today to convince the audience to reduce, reuse, and recycle so that the world may become what it used to be, a magnificent, beautiful place. The first thing I will discuss is the problem, which is climate change. Scott G. McNall says, climate change is a huge problem, and without help, it will cause the end of the world. To hear that, as someone who knows about climate change, to hear a scientist say that is a very worrying thing, because everybody causes climate change, and we're doing nothing about it. Air pollution is a huge thing. It's destroying the ozone layer, which causes the earth to get hotter, which causes massive fires like the one in the Amazon just this last year. That also melts glaciers, which causes huge floods. We've seen an uproar of floods this last year, which is not usual. And it's all due to climate change. And who's the number one factor going into climate change? Us. We're the main factor to climate change, which is a huge problem because there's so many ways and so many different things we can do to completely prevent it. Also, the oceans are also getting toxic, which is a really big thing because what do we get out of the ocean? Our food. So we get a lot of food out of there, and if the ocean is getting toxic, that means whatever lives in it is becoming toxic, which can only harm humans. Now that we've discussed the problem at hand, let's focus on the solutions. Joseph J. Romm says, reducing pollution will save the earth. It's true. I mean, if we all do our part, if we reuse, reduce, recycle, the earth will just become a better place and climate change rates will drop rapidly. Each person can do their part. All we have to do is focus on really what we're doing that we don't need to be doing. Like carpooling. Carpooling is a huge thing. Cars are a huge thing with climate change. That's causing climate change to rapidly increase. So if we cut down our amount of driving, will greatly impact the earth and just help everybody out. Also, pollution is a huge thing that goes into climate change. So recycling is a huge thing because if we recycle everything, basically, landfills will stop getting filled up. We'll be using the same stuff we were using before, and it won't have to, go out and harm the earth even more to get new things because we'll just be recycling and reusing. Another thing is how much we keep on our lights. Everybody keeps on their lights mostly all the time, which goes into climate change and hurts the earth. Now that we looked at the solutions to climate change, there's many more, but those were solutions that I came up with personally. Let's look at the benefits that Earth would have if climate change is completely slowed down and we stopped it. Sidney Hill says, the people of Earth would be 2 times as healthy without climate change. So without this thing that none of us can see and most people don't really know about, us humans would be healthier, along with every animal and just the earth as its whole, which that sounds amazing. Like, who wouldn't want that? We could actually get longer lifespans if we made climate change go down. Like, if the rates dropped, we could actually get longer lifespans. The oceans would be more clean, meaning a lot of our food would be better for us. And the earth would be clean, meaning our other food that we get would be cleaner for us. We'd have less diseases around the earth because the earth would be more clean, so there'd be a lot less diseases that were coming out, like COVID, that were killing people randomly. And just our air would be clean, our world would be clean. We'd just be living much greater lives if we all put forth a step and actually try to stop climate change in its tracks. After all this, it's a no-brainer that we should all do what we can to stop climate change. With it being a huge problem today, all everybody needs to do is just contribute a little bit, and with everybody contributing a little bit of stuff, Climate change is done for. We can slow it in its tracks, and the earth will love us for it. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Those are the 3 words that are very important, because to stop climate change, we have to do all 3 of them. Without one of them, it won't work. We got to reduce pollution, recycle, and then reuse our old stuff. That's exactly how climate change will go down. With climate change being a huge thing that literally everyone's tried to stop at one point, like scientists have really gotten into, have really looked deep into what climate change is really doing to our earth, and it's actually really scary what it's doing to everybody around the world, and no one's noticing it. It's killing people left and right, and people are thinking it's just diseases, but diseases have to do with climate change. Basically everything has to do with climate change. So if we all do our part, we all contribute, climate change will be stopped in its tracks, and we will be victorious. Here are my note cards. Boom.